Yo! What is up, guys? Welcome back to the SUPES channel. My name is Matthew Ramos, and on this channel I aim to entertain, inform, and inspire using the topic of discussion as always, which is superheroes. So guys, with the new year finally here, 2019, the golden age of movies and cinema, this year, guys, without a doubt is going to be the biggest the biggest year in cinema history, with all of the big Disney movies such as The Lion King, Aladdin, as well as all of the superhero comic book films. And you know, this is a big year for comic book movies, as there's potentially almost gonna be 10 comic book superhero films coming out this year. And today I'm gonna be ranking my hype and excitement for the comic book movies / superhero movies coming out during the year 2019. So let's get right into it. So guys, coming in at number 9 of my most anticipated films of 2019 is a film where we got a trailer for it a couple of weeks ago, and this film is Hellboy. You know, this is a film that I wasn't really hyped for. I did think that David Harbour looks jacked and looks really good in the role of Hellboy, but from the trailer we recently got, I wasn't digging it. The only thing that got me somewhat excited was that final shot where he's coming out, walking up the stairs with the full horns and a fire crown over his head with a fire sword. And that got me really hyped for not really hyped, but somewhat hyped for this movie. And unfortunately, it doesn't meet the amount of hype that I have for the rest of the films coming out in 2019. So that's why it's coming in at number 9. Next on the list is a film that we got a trailer for it months ago, and this film was actually supposed to come out this year, but it's been pushed back to the end of 2019, and this film is New Mutants. You know, from that trailer we got, I was actually really hyped for this film. You know, we've never gotten a superhero horror film, and I was actually really hyped from the trailer. It has a lot of good actors that I really like, and unfortunately, this film got pushed back so far, and apparently a new character has been added into the movie. So the movie can be somewhat completely different from what we saw in the trailer. So that's why I'm a little iffy, and I don't know if I should be hyped anymore about the film New Mutants, because 1, we haven't seen new footage of this film, and 2, the only footage we've seen is footage that possibly has been scrapped due to the fact of them, you know, fixing the plot or editing the plot and adding in a new character. Next on the list is a film called X-Men Dark Phoenix. You know, this is a film where we finally got a long-awaited trailer for it a couple of weeks ago, and you know, I wasn't really hyped from the trailer. I do love the storyline of Dark Phoenix and that whole comic run, but you know, the trailer didn't really get me that hyped. I think that the X-Men costumes look really cheesy compared to how they looked at the end of X-Men Apocalypse, where they were freaking beautiful and the entire team looked really nice. But now it looks like they got costumes from Party City, and I would say that the costumes are probably the least important part of the film, because if you have a bad costume but the plot is still great, the characters work, and everything works, then the costume isn't really an issue. But we haven't seen the film, so I can't determine the rest. The only thing I can determine is that those costumes look absolutely horrible. And you know, this is again another film that was pushed back, I believe, and now we're finally getting it in 2019, and this is actually the last X-Men film from Fox. So it's gonna be crazy to see how they end their own X-Men franchise. So that's why it's falling in at number 7. Number 6 is a film that was absolutely insane the way it actually got, you know, developed. This film is Glass. You know, Glass is a spin-off film from the movie Split, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, which is another spin-off from the movie Unbreakable. that came out in the 1990s, I believe. I'm not sure, but the film Glass is, you know, finally seeing, is a spin-off film where we're seeing, it's basically a sequel to both Split and Unbreakable, where we finally see those two worlds collide. You know, Bruce Willis returning as David Dunn, Samuel Jackson returning as Mr. Glass, and James McAvoy returning as the Beast. And I'm super hyped for this movie. All of the footage and promo that they've been putting out is absolutely amazing, and it's just gonna be more and more hyped for this film. I love all three of the main actors, and I'm excited to see all of these worlds, you know, collide. And from the footage we've seen, we do know that David Dunn actually ends up fighting the Beast, which is something that I was iffy about, and I didn't know if they were actually gonna have them fight, but they're gonna duke it out in this movie, and I'm getting super hyped for it. I feel like it's not gonna end the way, you know, we all think it is, or it's not gonna end the way you think it is. What you expect, it's not gonna happen. So I'm excited. It's gonna have a twisted ending. I could already tell from Mr. Glass and his malicious plotting. But I'm excited for this film, and that's why it's coming in at number 6. Next on the list is Shazam. You know, Shazam is one of my most favorite DC heroes across the entire DC universe. And I absolutely love the character of Shazam. I feel like if there's one character in the DC universe that, you know, I would relate to the most, it's definitely Shazam. You know, being a kid that is a full-on superhero is absolutely insane. And, you know, it's really relatable, because I feel like if I was Shazam, I would do the same exact things as he would, as the character has done in the comics, in other animated films. And I just love the character of Shazam. I think he's such a cool character. You know, the ambiguous character structure with Billy Batson and Captain Marvel. But I absolutely love the character of Shazam, and unfortunately I wish I could rate this film higher on this list, because he's one of my most favorite DC characters. But from that, we've only gotten one teaser trailer, and to be quite honest, I didn't really like it. You know, I have really high expectations going to this film, and the first teaser trailer didn't give me enough to, you know, meet my expectations that I have for this film. And I think Zachary Levi is a great casting as the character of Shazam, and I think he's gonna kill it. But, you know, is the same thing gonna happen with Aquaman, where it's gonna be awkward when, I don't know, a 35 to 40-year-old man is acting like a 15-year-old kid? I mean, it makes sense for Shazam, which is why it didn't work with Aquaman, but I don't know how it's gonna play out. And, you know, I have my doubts about this movie, but I also have very high expectations. So that's why it's coming in at number 5. Number 4 of my most anticipated movies of 2019 is Captain Marvel. You know, this is the first female-led Marvel movie, and I'm super hyped for it. Brie Larson is an amazing actress. I love all of her movies, and I just can't get enough of Brie Larson. I love her as an actress, and seeing her take on the role of Captain Marvel is something that gets me really excited. From what we've seen from the trailers, you know, it's definitely, I think I can speak for the community when I say that it hasn't really met our expectation, but I feel like the film in general is going to be absolutely amazing, and it's going to destroy the box office, and I have a feeling that it might even pass Black Panther if it's good enough. But it's one of those films that has explosive potential, and, you know, if they do this film correctly and tie it in somewhat to Avengers Endgame, I feel like they're gonna get a lot of people to go out and watch this movie. Not only is this movie gonna do a lot for, you know, female actresses, but it's gonna, you know, destroy the box office and become another one of Marvel's hits. So I'm super hyped for Captain Marvel. However, I'm not as hyped for it as I want to be. And this is due to the trailers and the promos that we've seen, but I still feel like this movie is gonna kick ass, and I still think that we haven't seen anything yet. You know, they're saving all the big surprises, all the big action sequences for the final film, and that's something that's getting me really excited. So that's why Captain Marvel is coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is a film that I'm absolutely hyped for. No other words, just hyped for. And this is, this is a very experimental film. If it succeeds, then it can open up an entire other realm of DC films that could take place. And this is the Joker. The Joker is by far the best DC villain, and I think it's safe to say he's the best comic book villain of all time, and most well known. And I'm super hyped about Joaquin Phoenix playing the role as the Joker. From what we've seen from the set pictures and that little teaser clip that was released by Todd Phillips, who is the director, I think he's gonna absolutely kill this role, and he's gonna be nominated for an Oscar for this movie. I just love the Joker character so much, and I feel like in this movie they're gonna humanize the character a lot more. Like, he's gonna definitely be that villain that you know and love from the comics, but this film is gonna humanize him a lot more, and it's gonna show reason and purpose as to why he is as crazy as he is, and absolutely love that. And I feel like this film is just gonna show a whole different side to the Joker that we've never even seen before, because this film is an origin story for the Joker character. And I think Joaquin Phoenix is gonna absolutely kill this role, and we're gonna be begging for more of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in the future of the DCU. So coming in at number 2 is Spider-Man Far From Home. This sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, and this film takes place minutes after Avengers Endgame. So I'm excited to see, what are the after effects of Endgame that influence how Peter continues his journey as Spider-Man. Is he gonna have to continue his journey without the mentor that he's had this entire time in Tony Stark? Or is he gonna have to find his own way and, create his own path in becoming a hero? And I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I have issues with his motivations and the character structure, but I think he's a good Spider-Man. I like him, and I love seeing him play the character one more time, and to have Jake Gyllenhaal coming on to Spider-Man Far From Home to play one of my most favorite Spider-Man villains and coolest Spider-Man villains in Mysterio. Finally seeing Mysterio come onto the big screen is just absolutely gets me hyped for this movie. And we do know that the Elementals are going to be in this film, so Hydro Man, Molten Man, and I'm super excited to see their on-screen debut, as them again is one of the most coolest characters in Spider-Man comics and the Spider-Man animated series. So I'm super excited for this movie. And hearing what we've gotten from trailer descriptions and footage leaks, it seems to be that Mysterio is going to be playing a big brother role to Spider-Man at the beginning of this film. And obviously we do know that that's going to take a turn at some point or another, and those two brothers are going to be fighting at the end of this movie. And I just love that character arc for the relationship between Spider-Man and Mysterio, and the way it's gonna play out, because as we all know, Spider-Man PS4 is an absolutely amazing game, and the way that relationship develops between Peter and Otto Octavius all the way to the end of the film between Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus is just absolutely amazing. And to see something similar to that on the big screen gets me super excited. And we do know that Nick Fury is going to be in this movie. He's coming back as Samuel Jackson is coming back as Nick Fury, and I'm excited to see that again. So I'm super excited with Spider-Man Far From Home, about Spider-Man Far From Home. And from the set pictures, I think it's safe to assume that Peter is gonna finally have a love relationship with MJ, and that's gonna bring a whole new side of, risk and consequences to him being Spider-Man, and the risk that he's taking by having a love relationship with MJ. So I'm super excited for Spider-Man Far From Home, and that's why it's coming in at number 2. Now coming in at number 1, it's no surprise that this movie is on my number 1, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that this movie is the number 1 anticipated movie of all time. And this is Avengers Endgame. The final conclusion to, the OG Avengers storyline and their story. This is the conclusion of everything that Marvel has built for the past 10 years. From the beginning of Iron Man 1 all the way to now. This is truly the end. And, this is the final movie for Chris Evans playing Captain America, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and to see 3 of my most beloved actors and roles finally conclude is just, I'm gonna cry. I already know. And this is finally the conclusion we've all been waiting for. There's no next part to this. This is the end. There's no more end credit scenes connecting this to that. No, it's all been leading to this. And Infinity War was the biggest prequel to this movie. And now we're finally gonna see the OG Avengers reassemble and fight their way back to reversing the snap and taking down Thanos. So guys, I'm absolutely insanely hyped for this movie. I feel like I'm gonna cry while I'm watching this film. And as a matter of fact, guys, from the Avengers Endgame trailer that we got a couple weeks ago, I literally haven't cut my hair since. Just so that when the movie comes out, I'm gonna cosplay as Captain America. So I'm just letting my hair grow out. That's why it's hard to wear hats now, because it just all stumbles up, but whatever. And just this film has me doing shit like that. That's crazy. Either that's crazy or I'm crazy, one or the other. But I'm actually so insanely hyped for this movie. Guys, you don't understand. I'm looking more forward to this movie than I am to graduating high school or getting married. I feel like my life is gonna end after this movie. I've never looked forward to something so much in my life. So this is definitely my most anticipated movie of 2019. And it's safe to say that this is the most anticipated movie of my entire life. So there you guys have it. There is my list for my most anticipated films of 2019. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.